This morning on Early Today, act of war. Israel's prime minister vows a painful response to Hezbollah guerrilla attacks on Israel's northern border with Lebanon. Train of terror. The death toll continues to rise after 8 bombs explode on a packed commuter train in India. And rush hour scramble. Hundreds rush to escape smoke and flames after a Chicago train jumps the tracks.
This is Early Today for Wednesday, July 12, 2006.
And good morning to you. Welcome to our viewers across the nation, including the Pacific time zone. I'm Christine Johnson, and today we begin with tensions reaching a fever pitch in the Middle East. Israeli ground troops have crossed into the Lebanese border in search of 2 soldiers kidnapped overnight by Hezbollah guerrillas. Now, NBC's Richard Engel is in Gaza. He will join us with the very latest in just a few moments. But in the meantime, in India, the focus is on tracking down those responsible for 8 explosions aboard commuter trains yesterday. According to police in India, the toll at this hour stands at 190 killed and 625 injured in the blasts. The bombs are believed to have been hidden in overhead luggage racks aboard 7 trains traveling during evening rush hour in Mumbai, formerly known as Bombay. Police suspect militants with ties to al-Qaeda of carrying out the attacks, though no group has claimed responsibility. President Bush called the bombings vicious, saying the blasts serve as a reminder that the fight against terror is a global endeavor. Back here in the U.S., parts of Chicago's metro system remain closed this morning after a subway train derailed and caught fire during Tuesday's evening rush hour commute. Officials say one of the cars jumped the tracks and caused sparks, which then ignited material that filled the subway tunnel with thick black smoke. Hundreds of soot-covered commuters had to be evacuated within minutes, and passengers described the harrowing experience.
The rear end fishtailed. It was like derailed. And that's when I think they hit the 3rd rail. I don't know, because then there was more flashes. And that's when the smoke came like crazy.
It was scary. We just didn't know what was going on, and the smoke was getting thicker, so we didn't know which way to go.
We walked through about 600 feet of tunnel that was just engulfed with smoke. We couldn't see 5 feet in front of us.
More than 150 people were taken to area hospitals, and most were treated for smoke inhalation. Authorities say there are no signs of terrorism or foul play. In a major reversal of its policy in the war on terror, the Bush administration now acknowledges that all detainees in U.S. custody have legal rights. A statement issued by the Department of Defense recognizes terror suspects in military custody will now be afforded certain legal rights under the Geneva Conventions. The Pentagon is currently holding about 1,000 terror detainees worldwide, including 450 at Guantanamo Bay. Now, the reversal follows a Supreme Court decision 2 weeks ago that struck down the administration's use of military tribunals for trying terror suspects. And the announcement came on the same day the Senate began hearings on how to go about bringing terror detainees to trial. Senators on the Judiciary Committee warned the administration that Congress, not the White House, will be deciding what form those trials take. Columnist Robert Novak is revealing who he says are his 2 confirming sources in the CIA leak case, but he still refuses to identify his primary source. Novak named the top presidential advisor Karl Rove and former CIA spokesperson Bill Harlow, who is now an NBC News analyst. But Novak admits both Rove and Harlow have a different recollection. Novak also admits for the first time he cooperated in the CIA leak investigation. And now we want to return to that story that we told you at the top of the hour, where tensions are rising between Israel and Lebanon. Israel has now entered into Lebanon territory. NBC's Richard Engel is in Gaza with the very latest. Richard, what can you tell us?
Good morning, Christine. Israel is now facing a war on 2 fronts, one here in the Gaza Strip where airstrikes continue, the other in southern Lebanon. That began this morning when Hezbollah launched an attack on an Israeli army patrol along the Israel-Lebanon border. 3 Israeli soldiers were killed in that assault. 2 others were taken hostage. Then Israeli troops went in, reinforcements, that their vehicle hit a landmine 4 more Israeli soldiers were killed. The Israeli Prime Minister is calling this act an act of war, not an act of terrorism. Reserve troops in Israel have been called up. People along the border, Israelis living in that border area, have been ordered into shelters. There have been Israeli airstrikes continuing all morning into South Lebanon. Hezbollah says that it has taken these 2 Israeli soldiers to a safe area. The Israeli cabinet is expected to meet tonight to discuss further measures and promises a very, quote, deep and painful response. Israel says that the Lebanese government bears the full responsibility for what happened because Hezbollah is an active participant in the Lebanese government. Christine?
All right, Richard Engel live in Gaza City. Thanks, Richard. It's a developing story. Of course, it will be following for you throughout the day, so do stay tuned right here to this NBC station for the latest. Right now, let's shift gears a little bit, get a check at your regional and national weather forecast. Jeff Ranieri in for that this morning.
Well, good morning, Christine. Good morning, everyone. We have some showers that could sneak by into the northwest today and some cooler temperatures, some 60s in the forecast. Otherwise, we are dealing with a lot of heat in the southwest and more high fire danger as over 15 fires continue to burn in the west. Here's a look at our national map, and you can see no raindrops, unfortunately, in the southwest, especially for California. You could use it, but as many of you know that live in California, this is the dry time of the year, so don't really hope on too many raindrops to help out the fire situation. And there's that weak system moving into the northwest that could spread a few showers there throughout Seattle as we head through today. And if you're traveling to the northeast, any of the major cities, New York, D.C., Boston, Philadelphia, watch out for some strong thunderstorms this afternoon that could certainly delay your flights. Also for southern Indiana, Ohio, also right around the Tennessee Valley, looking for those storms to possibly be strong. Heat and humidity for the east, very warm. Some of the hottest temperatures of the year through the central U.S. 88 in Minneapolis, but throughout Pierre, much of North and South Dakota, temperatures in the triple digits. 113 in Phoenix, 87 in Sacramento. And where do we start off this morning? Of course, mild to warm here in the deserts. 84 in Vegas, 94 in Phoenix, and a good mix of 50s and 60s from the coastline to the interior valleys. That's a look at your national forecast. Now here's the weather where you are. All right, Lakeview, Oregon, some sun, some clouds, 80 degrees. Reno, Nevada, sunny skies, 91 degrees. And in San Francisco, some sun, some clouds, and the upper 60s. That's your national forecast. Christine, back to you.
All right, Jeff, thanks so much. Well, the Army considers cutting ties with Halliburton, and GM ponders a joint partnership. We'll have your early morning business headlines straight ahead. Plus, Keith Richards finally puts the rumors to rest about that big bump on his head.
An exciting finish in the All-Star game and a half-court shot you've got to see to believe. You're watching Early Today.
People always ask insurance guys, when can I get my car back? Well, a lot faster with this Sprint mobile broadband card. I can instantly download customer data, file the claim, and handle more customers per day.
Do more with Sprint mobile broadband.
So when can I get my car back?
Well,
Sprint Business makes just about any place a workplace. Get a card for $49.99 with an unlimited data access plan after mail-in rebate. Visit sprint.com/business.
Tight clothing can cause itching.
Even some soaps can do it.
Perspiration, that can cause itch and odor.
Only Maximum Strength Vagisil Cream has 2 powerful itch fighters that relieve itch fast, plus odor-blocking technology. Only Vagisil has it.
With Vagisil, you get total relief.
On the go, use Vagisil medicated wipes. Instant itch relief plus odor blocking. Vagisil, a better understanding of better intimate care.
To clean your bathroom, you need different cleaners for the floor, the shower, the tub, the counter, and behind the toilet. Or you could use the only all-in-one tool for 5 bathroom surfaces, Mr. Clean Magic Reach, with 2 cleaning pads. Its scrubbing pad powers away soap scum from the shower and cleans the tub, while its mopping pad leaves sinks and counters gleaming and cleans the floor, even hard-to-reach places like behind the toilet. Mr. Clean Magic Reach. Go online to get a coupon for one as low as $9.99.
Oh, no. Rates are climbing higher, and so are your interest payments. Refinance Finance your adjustable rate mortgage with LendingTree and save up to $3,000 a year. Call 1-800-555-TREE now before rates climb even higher. When banks compete, you win.
Part of you wants relief from the turmoil of menopausal symptoms. Part of you doesn't know how to get it. Visit nomenopause.com because part of you isn't clear on the differences between non-prescription and prescription medications. All of you wants to learn what works. Check out nomenopause.com.
Welcome back to Early Today. I'm Christine Johnson. Here now some of your top headlines this morning. Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert is calling an attack by Hezbollah guerrillas this morning an act of war. Israel has called up reserve divisions of its armed forces to provide support as the military searches for 2 Israeli soldiers captured in the guerrilla attack. And police in India are trying to track down those responsible for 8 nearly simultaneous bombings aboard rush hour commuter trains yesterday. At least 190 people were killed in the attacks and more than 600 injured. And this morning, Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice says world leaders may have no choice but to haul Iran before the UN Security Council. The announcement comes as Tehran failed to meet today's deadline to respond to a series of international incentives aimed at suspending Iran's nuclear enrichment program. Now here's a look at one of your top health headlines on MSNBC.com. A new study brings bad news to women who smoke. Cigarette-smoking women are twice as likely to get lung cancer than men who smoke, but apparently women have a better chance at surviving the disease. Once lung cancer is diagnosed and treated, women are 52% less likely to die than men. If you'd like more information on this and other health stories, just check us out on the health page. It's at MSNBC.com. Now an early look at how Wall Street will be kicking off the day. The Dow gained 31 points Tuesday to close at 11,134. The S&P added 5 points. The Nasdaq rose 11. In overseas trading, Tokyo's Nikkei tumbled 224 points. An up day in Hong Kong, though, the Hang Seng up 32. A report out this morning says the U.S. Army is set to dump its most controversial business partner. For more on that and your early business headlines, we're joined by Steve Sedgwick from the London headquarters of CNBC Europe. Good morning, Steve.
Yes, good morning to you. Thank you very much indeed. Interesting times at Halliburton, the company formerly run by Vice President Dick Cheney. Looks like, according to the Washington Post, it has lost a very lucrative contract to supply logistics to the U.S. Army in Iraq. Now, this contract last year was worth around about $7 billion US, but Army officials are saying it's nothing to do with disputes over audited accounts or question marks over the prices charged. It's just that they think they can get better value out of a system that has multiple contractors giving them better prices. Elsewhere, it's looking towards an interesting time on Friday in the auto sector. Rick Wagoner has said he's looking forward to having talks with Carlos Ghosn. Carlos Ghosn is the boss, the man who at Renault-Nissan turned the company around. Rick Wagoner has been under a bit of pressure as of late from Kurt Kerkorian, the Trescinda boss, basically just saying, come on, get together with the European/Japanese combine and let's see if we can get them taking a stake in GM and make this company move forward. Elsewhere, Delphi has finally filed its numbers for 2005. It's a $2.4 billion loss, but that is a vast improvement on the $4.8 billion US we saw in the previous year. And very briefly for you, Puma has emerged as the top sporting clothing wear group out of the World Cup. Puma supplied 12 teams in a tournament. Second was Nike with 8 teams who, of course, supplied the US. Back to you.
All right, Steve, thanks so much. Coming up in sports for you, the National League looks to end its losing streak at the All-Star game. Plus, who says men have all the fun? The WNBA's Diana Taurasi goes the distance as she shows off her All-Star skills at Madison Square Garden. Your early morning sports headlines are straight ahead.
And good morning. Plenty of heat from the east to the west. Get a look at your highs coming up in your regional forecast. You're watching Early Today.
What would it take to keep your personal financial information safe? A ferocious guard dog? A great white shark? A man-eating tiger? Any of them will do thanks to Bank of America's Site Key. Just choose a picture and title. We'll show them to you when you sign on, so you know you're securely on our site, not some look-alike. So if you'll feel safer, protected by a fearsome grizzly bear, we've got you covered. Open a checking account and experience higher standards in checking, only from Bank of America.
Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey, 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 goodbye.
Honey, do you have to sing that song every time you use that thing?
Yeah.
Wherever you go, Tide to Go. Visit TideToGo.com for more information.
We're finishing up a fantastic new dish. Let's saute some shrimp while we sear our tuna. Oh, perfect. And when you're done, voila, new Meow Mix Market Select.
New Easy Open Meow Mix Market Select with tender, juicy cuts of fresh meats and seafood. New Meow Mix Market Select. Too good to put in a can.
Ironing's a hassle. That's why Men's Warehouse offers all-cotton, non-iron shirts that look and feel as good in the evening as they do in the morning. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Ready to save 50% on new flooring? Just call Empire today during our Super Summer Sale. We'll bring samples of quality brand name hardwood and laminate flooring right to your home. And we'll install your new floors next day. And during our Super Summer Sale, you'll save 50%. That's right, 50%. Plus, no payments for a year. For beautiful floors installed next day, call Empire today.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today. Now you can find the most properties for sale or rent. The best home search experience anywhere. Photos, tours, mapping, and more to help you find the perfect home. Go to NBC4.TV's real estate page today. NBC4.TV, powered by Move.
Good morning. If you're just waking up, this is Early Today. And in sports, baseball's All-Star Game turns into a 9-inning thriller, plus a photo finish to sign Stage 9 of the Tour de France. Here's NBC's Fred Rogan with an early look at all your sports headlines.
Good morning. Baseball's All-Star Game took place in Pittsburgh last night. The National League has struggled the past decade, and this year was no different as the American League show they still dominate the Midsummer Classic. Top of the second, the AL struck first. The Angels' Vlad Guerrero took Dodger pitcher Brad Penny deep for a solo homer, and the American League led it 1-0. But the lead didn't stay for long. Bottom two, the Mets' David Wright, a solo shot to left, and that tied the game at 1. To the third inning, Roy Halladay was on the hill, the Toronto right-hander, with a wild pitch past Ivan Rodriguez. Carlos Beltran, who stole third, then came in to score the NL up 2-1. Ninth inning, 2 outs, 2 strikes. The Padres' Trevor Hoffman trying to close it out, but that was Michael Young sending it into the gap. Jose Lopez scored. Troy Glaw scored. Young with a triple. The AL was back up 3-2. Bottom 9, tying run at second for the NL, but Mariano Rivera took care of business. Got Carlos Lee to fly to Michael Young, the game's MVP. The AL won at 3-2, giving them home field advantage in the World Series.
No one's really giving huge rallying calls to try and get home field advantage in the World Series, but we're all aware of how important this game is. Someone now is going to, be in good shape come October.
Tour de France returned to the streets with the 105-mile 9th stage. Trouble 8 miles from the finish as a group of riders were involved in a crash. No one seriously hurt. Great finish in this one, down to the wire. Spain's Oscar Freire beat Robbie McEwen in a photo finish. A Ukrainian rider retained the overall leader's yellow jersey. The Madison Square Garden, great shot by Phoenix's Diana Taurasi as she sank the half-court shot in the WNBA All-Star workout. Then did a little dance for the camera to celebrate. The WNBA All-Star Game today at the Garden. That's your early look at sports on Early Today. I'm Fred Rogan.
Shakira expresses royale regrets. Straight ahead in your early morning entertainment headlines. Plus, you'll never believe why these ice cream lovers are breaking out in a cold sweat. You're watching Early Today.
Is your relationship
relationship in its early years? Or are you old pals? Are you close friends in the great indoors? Or a family in a full house? Are you living the Purina Cat-Chow way of life? Essential nutrition for each life stage or lifestyle, and access to behaviorists, nutritionists, and vets for a happy, healthy life together. Physical, emotional, complete. That's the Purina Cat-Chow way of life. Kittens need extra protein for healthy development. Feed them Purina Kitten Chow Nurturing Formula for a healthy way of life.
The attraction was there from day one.
I felt like I wanted to kiss her the moment I saw her.
Our first kiss was a surprise.
I kissed him first.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I don't remember. Was it the second date or the third date? Do you remember?
It was that first date.
There were definitely fireworks.
Before she jumped in the cab, she grabbed me and laid a big sloppy one on. I mean, a nice little peck on the cheek or something. It was the most wonderful kiss of my life.
It was pretty electrifying.
Experience what it feels like when attraction is ignited by deep compatibility.
And then we held hands after that, and then I can't remember when the kiss was, but whenever it was good.
And then she said,
"What took you so long?"
And right now, first-time members can try eHarmony for 7 days absolutely risk-free. What have you got to lose? The truth is there's so much to gain. Log on today and see for yourself. eHarmony.com.
There's a gummy vitamin kids will love that's got the name moms trust. Flintstones Gummies. A complete multivitamin in 3 yummy gummy flavors. And now there's new Flintstone Sour Gummies in 3 sour flavors kids will love. Everyday carpet cleaning used to mean hassling with a vacuum. Now it means the Swiffer Carpet Flick. It's easy to use, lightweight, cordless, and it fits into tight spaces easier than a vacuum. Just flick, trap, and toss. Go online for a coupon to get Carpet Flick as low as $9.99.
Got an itch? Scratching tears up skin. New maximum strength Lanacaine penetrates skin twice as fast with maximum itch-stopping medicine, plus germ-killing antibacterial. New Lanacaine stops the itch, saves your skin.
Travel Weather is sponsored in part by Maximum Strength Lanacaine Cream.
Good morning and welcome back. It is Wednesday, halfway through the weekend. We're going to stay hot and humid with high fire danger in the southwest. Not humid, rather, but dry heat. 106 in Vegas, 113 in Phoenix, 88 in Los Angeles. Some clouds for you in San Francisco, and 69. Some showers slipping on by Seattle and cooling off to 67. And we're going to go hot there into parts of the Dakotas and Montana. 90s, even some triple digits. And if you're watching us on KTUU 2 News in Anchorage, Alaska, this is a fun event. Seems like one. Visit the Bear Paw Festival in Eagle River. Watch events including the Slippery Salmon Olympics, where competitors take on an obstacle course while carrying fresh salmon. That's your Pacific event of the day. That sounds very, very fun. Different.
Slippery, I guess.
Maybe a little smelly, too, with the fish.
Hopefully the salmon doesn't get hurt.
Right? Well, maybe.
PETA. Now here's an early look this morning's headlines in entertainment, and most actresses would kill to get a role alongside the man with a license to kill. So it's a real headline when someone turns down being a Bond girl, and that is exactly what Latin singing sensation Shakira did. She was offered a role in the upcoming Casino Royale, but had to turn it down because she was making an album. Well, now she's having big regrets, apparently, and hopes the producers ask her back for the next film. The Rolling Stones opened their long-delayed European tour last night in Milan, Italy, shortly after Keith Richards cleared up the tree issue. The guitarist says the fall in Fiji was from a small tree, not a palm or coconut tree. The band's tour was delayed as Richards recovered. Finally, speaking of concerts, you might want to think twice before inviting Jackie Chan to yours. A Taiwanese singer asked Chan to come to his Monday night, where Chan reportedly jumped on stage, announced he was drunk, and said he wanted to sing a duet. Chan hurled insults at the audience as he was heckled off stage.
You got to give him some credit. At least he said, hey, I'm drunk.
He admitted it.
And he didn't deny, being maybe, had a few to drink. Some credit, though, right?
It doesn't just seem like him, though.
No.
He always seems like a goody-goody to me.
Yeah, happy-go-lucky. Well, he's happy.
He was having a good time that night. This comes to us from WNCN NBC 17 in Raleigh, North Carolina, where folks are cooling off with a new hot and spicy ice cream flavor. Sunny Skies Homemade Ice Cream serves up what they call cold sweat, a one-of-a-kind throat-burning treat. It's made with 2 hot sauces and 3 kinds of peppers. In fact, it's so hot, anyone who wants to taste has to sign a waiver, and kids under 18 must get their parents' permission first. Would you try it, Jeff?
I'd give it a try, but it's that odd, confusing thing. It's a cold thing, but it's going to taste hot.
Yeah.
You know, senses all over the place.
This is early today.
Summer is great, but sun and chlorine torture my skin.
Gold Bond Ultimate Healing Lotion. 7 intensive moisturizers and 3 vitamins for parched summer skin.
What a difference.
Can your lotion do that? Gold Bond Ultimate Healing.
This stuff really works.
Rates are climbing higher, and so are your interest payments. Refinance your adjustable rate mortgage with LendingTree and save up to $3,000 a year. Call 1-800-555-TREE now before rates climb even higher. When banks compete, you win.
New Gain Joyful Expressions laundry detergent comes in scents so surprising.
Next, please. Ticket and passport.
They attract attention.
Sir, are you flirting with me? Watch it, mister. I'm married. Oh, looks like I'll have to bump someone to business class.
Don't laugh. It's that good. New Gain Joyful Expressions in Apple Mango Tango.
A Today Show exclusive. Matt Lauer, Russian President Vladimir Putin. The complete interview this morning only on Today on NBC.
It's Sit and Sleep's anniversary sale, where we're celebrating 26 wonderful years in business. Right, Erwin? You're killing me, Larry! Viney Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Spring Air, Stearns & Foster, Miralax, Chatham & Wells, and Tempur-Pedic. And pay no deposit, no interest, and no payments for 1 whole year. Take that, Larry! Plus, get a bed frame, mattress pad, 2 pillows, and delivery free as an anniversary present from Sit and Sleep to you. Sit and Sleep will beat anyone's advertised price, or your mattress is free!
SeaWorld Summer Nights, because it's a different park after dark.
It is Wednesday, July 12th. You're looking live from our camera in Long Beach. Hello, everyone. It's turning 5 a.m.
And here are some of the very important stories we're following right now today in L.A.
I'm Gina Kim, live in San Bernardino County, where a wildfire has destroyed some 30 structures and is threatening hundreds more, including a piece of Hollywood history. The latest coming up next.
Good morning, I'm Robert Kovacic in South Robertson. A 16-year-old girl is shot and killed just blocks from her high school, and now the search for her killers.
An LAPD officer remains in critical condition after his 3-year-old son gets a hold of his gun and pulls the trigger.
Also ahead, their goal is to stop illegal border crossings, but federal officials say the Minutemen are helping to reduce another illegal activity along the U.S.-Mexican border.
Well, after our minimal break from the heat, we might even call it a pseudo break yesterday. Temperatures climbing yet again. We're getting ready to go into a very hot weekend and a return of the monsoonal moisture. I'll have that in a moment.
And a good morning on our freeways this morning. A little construction on the Pasadena Freeway. Injury accident going to be affecting your drive on the 60. We'll have your live drive 40 traffic coming up in a few minutes.
And a series of road rage incidents along a local highway has the CHP on alert. Officers increase patrols after angry drivers threaten Caltrans workers.
And the farm fight now becomes a legal fight. The battle over a South LA urban farm moves to a courtroom today.
And looking live right now from downtown Los Angeles, very soon, Today in LA starts right now.
Live from NBC4. This is Today in LA.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, July 12th. I'm Jennifer Bjorklund.
And I'm Chris Schauble. Let's get right to our top story. The wildfire in Pioneer Town in the Yucca Valley. It is now called the Ridge Fire. At last count, more than 17,000 acres have burned. Dozens of structures have been destroyed. That acreage count is liable to be higher once they get a look after daylight. The area is just north of Palm Springs and has been the site of dozens of Hollywood westerns. The fire is now threatening other nearby towns and forcing hundreds of evacuations. Today, LA's Gina Kim live in the Yucca Valley with the very latest details. Gina.
Good morning, Chris. As you said, the acreage of this fire right now is estimated to be about 17,000, but that was the figure that we got at 6 o'clock last night when they were able to give us the last estimate, because that was the last time that air crews were able to fly over and get a good look at the fire from above ground. Now, as you said, the fire by now has grown to a lot bigger than that. You are looking at Big Morongo Valley, and you can see just how much this land covers. It is an area bordered roughly by Highway 62 and 247 to the west and the Riverside County line on the south.